Today we're looking at Geronimo. Hello, welcome to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. Also, don't forget to check out dailybellringer.com where you'll find more resources that go with many of the Bellringer videos. Geronimo was a Native American leader in the southwest region of the United States during the mid to late 1800s. Known for his bravery in battle, his name would later become famous as during World War II, paratroopers would yell his name as they were parachuting out of airplanes into combat as a symbol of courage. Geronimo was born June 16, 1829, near the Gila River in what today is the state of New Mexico, but at the time was part of the country of Mexico. He was born one of 8 children in his family into the Bedonkohe subgroup of the Chiricahua tribe, which was part of the Apaches. By the age of 17, his father had died and he had married a young woman named Elope, and together they would have 3 children. Elope was the first of 9 wives for Geronimo. Although not a chief, Geronimo established himself as a brave leader as he led several hunts and raids on rival tribes. Geronimo's people had several enemies living in the area, including the Navajo and Comanches. By the time he was a teenager, he had already been involved in several raids on rival tribes. The Apache also had been fighting against both the Mexican and U.S. governments, as both had been encroaching on their land before and after the Mexican-American War. In 1851, Mexican soldiers attacked Geronimo's village while he was away on a trading trip. The soldiers killed Geronimo's entire family, his wife, children, and his mother. Geronimo swore revenge on those that had murdered his family, and soon he had gathered a force of about 200 Native Americans to hunt down the Mexican soldiers. In the wake of the Mexican-American War and gold being discovered in California, more and more American settlers were pushing into Apache territory. In 1854, the United States negotiated the Gadsden Purchase, which gave the U.S. more land in what today would be Arizona and New Mexico. For several years, the Apache attacked wagon trains and stagecoaches in an effort to stop expansion into their lands. By 1872, the United States government had established a reservation for the Chiricahua on part of the Apache's traditional homeland. Geronimo reluctantly agreed to go as his father-in-law was the chief and had agreed to peacefully go to the reservation. But just a few years later, Geronimo's father-in-law died and the government told the Chiricahua that they would have to move to another reservation. This ignited more fighting between the Apache and U.S. government. Geronimo led attacks against U.S. authorities and resisted. However, in 1877 he was captured and forced onto the San Carlos Apache Reservation in northern Arizona. Over the next few years, he and his followers escaped the reservation 3 times. Geronimo would wage what was known as the Last Indian War against the United States, leading raids against military targets as well as civilian settlements. Geronimo successfully eluded capture again and again, pursued at times by as many as 5,000 troops. Geronimo became a sensation in Eastern newspapers as he came to be seen as almost invincible. Some viewed him as a hero for defending Native American traditions, while others, including some Apache themselves, saw him as a troublemaker that was needlessly putting people's lives in danger. Eventually, in 1886, Geronimo found himself and his people outnumbered and exhausted. On September 4, 1886, Geronimo surrendered to American forces near Fort Bowie on the Arizona-New Mexico border. Geronimo was now a prisoner and sent first to Fort Pickens in Florida, then to Mount Vernon Barracks in Alabama, and then finally to Fort Sill in Oklahoma. Geronimo spent the remainder of his life at Fort Sill. However, from time to time, he was allowed to be escorted to appearances. He made appearances at fairs and in Wild West shows, signing autographs. He was even part of Theodore Roosevelt's inauguration in 1905, at which Geronimo asked Roosevelt to allow the Chiricahua to leave the reservation, which Roosevelt refused. Later that same year, he agreed to have a biography written about his life. In February of 1909, at the age of 79, he was thrown while riding a horse. He was not found until the next morning and had to spend the entire night outside in the elements. As a result, he caught pneumonia and passed away 6 days later on February 17th of 1909. Although impressions of Geronimo varied from being a villain to being a hero, Geronimo left his mark on history as trying to maintain his people's way of life and traditions. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.